Hi, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ami. I am a nurse practitioner. On this channel, I make videos about nursing. I talk about mental health. I do hair tutorial videos. I talk about some financial tips and things that have helped me along the way. And that includes documenting my journey towards financial freedom. Most of that has to do with paying off my student loans, which I have a lot of. So previously I'd made a video about how I was able to get my doctorate as a family nurse practitioner without having to take out any more student loans. If you're interested in watching that video, just go to my channel. You should be able to see that video. And back in January, I decided to enroll in school to get a postmaster's certification focusing on mental health. So I'm working on becoming a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So for that particular program, it cost me overall about a little over $14,000. And that's pretty much the average when I was looking at school for a postmaster certification degree. Most of them are ranges. Liberty University was the lowest that I saw, which was that's at $15,000 for the entire program. And that program takes about a year. That is 3 semesters. And for the other programs that I looked into, they cost anywhere from like $19,000 and up. So some of them can be a little bit pricey. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about what are some tricks that I use so that way I don't have to take out any more student loans. And this is something that I've been implementing throughout the years, again, for my doctorate degree program, and also now I'm using some of these tips for my postmaster's degree. So that way, whatever is it that we can do to help prevent us from going into more debt, that's the goal for this channel, and just sharing as much knowledge as possible so that way we all can learn from each other. So I do have notes down, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at, okay? So tip number 1, what are some things that you can do so that way you don't have to take out any more student loans? One of it is teaching. So this will be whether you are already an RN or you are already a nurse practitioner and you're going for a postmaster's degree. So teaching, if you find a university or college that you're thinking about attending, if you are able to be a teacher in that school, whether as a clinical instructor or whether as like just a regular teacher teaching a regular class, you are actually able to get your base tuition paid for, which is what I did for my DNP program. That's what I did. I was able to be a clinical instructor, and at the time I was just a registered nurse, and I was going to school for my NP. So that worked for I was able to do that for 3 semesters, which was really nice, and they paid for your base tuition. So that's one way to approach it. For me, right now, since I'm not teaching, one of the things that I was able to do was that from your work, you're able to get tuition reimbursement. For most jobs, you're able, when you work for them, and I think most of the time, if you work at least 60 hours and above, you're eligible for that, where you get a certain amount for school. When I was going for my DNP program, my school was able to offer me that money. It was about $2,000 and up, and guys, any little bit amount of money helps, okay? So for that particular job, they were able to offer me $2,000 a year. So again, any little amount, it can be $200, anything that can help you to help with your schooling. It's got every dollar count, okay? So that's one thing. Right now, since I am a nurse practitioner, what I was able to do with my job was that when you're a nurse practitioner, for most jobs, they offer you continuing education money or CME money. So for my job, they offered me, it's usually about $2,500 a year. So that's really, I was very thankful, and it was very helpful to know that I can use that money. So usually you use that money for if there's like conferences and different things that you want to do that can be applied to your certification or to your work or whatever profession that you do as continuing education, where you continue to learn about your field. You're able to use that money for that. So for me, going back to school is considered continuing education. So I was able to use that. And what helped me was that I started school in January. So I was able to use the money from the previous year, which was that $2,500 from 2020. I was able to get that money and also get the money for 2021. So I was able to get a total of about $5,000, which was extremely helpful. And that's what I was able to use to pay for my first semester, because that first semester of school cost about $5,500. So I literally just have to come out of pocket another $500, which was huge, guys. It was amazing to be able to do that. So that's one thing that you're able to use, is use your job. If they offer any CME money, you can use that money for your education. Or if you use If your job offered tuition reimbursement, if you're an RN, you're able to use that money as well. Another thing also that I use, so those are the two main things that I use for this semester. Another thing also that I used was that for my job, I was working 5 days a week. Now, when I started school, up until, so the semester, there was 3 semesters of, the first semester, it was just didactic. So it's just classroom stuff. So I was able to continue working 5 days a week while I was going to school for this degree. It was really tough and it was very challenging, but it's one of those things where you kind of work your schedule and you work your way around assignments and things like that. And I was able to still be able to work full time, which means that I was able to save up money. Now, when it comes to the second semester in which I actually have to do clinicals, now I had to cut back from working 5 days a week to 3 days a week. So which means that I will be missing a total of about 48 hours every 2 weeks, and that was a lot of money. So what I did was that I saved up my PTO. So I had the maximum that I could get with this job is 120 hours of PTO. So when I was at work, I didn't take out any PTO. I tried to save up all my PTO, and what I ended up doing was that for 3 months, I was able to still get paid full time. And the reason being is that, so 2 days a week, I have to do clinicals. And those 2 days a week that I took off from work, I was able to use my PTO. So I was able to maintain full-time paycheck for about 3 months. So that really helped me again to save up money, be able to take care of my expenses, and be able to put some money towards my schooling. So if you're able to do this, whether you're an RN or an NP, you're able to accumulate your PTO. You can certainly use that for when you're in school, so that way you can still maintain a full-time paycheck for a while. So that's what I ended up doing. So that really saved me a lot of heartaches and not having to worry too much about finances, because I was able to use that for 3 months. Okay, so once that's over, another thing or tip that I've used in the past that had helped me, and this will be one of those things, because we're trying to get out of debt and trying to be financially free as much as possible. But so this will be going into debt, you're going to be going into debt, but it wouldn't be student loans. And one way that I was able to use this method is using my credit card. Okay, so credit card wise, one of the credit cards that I have is they were offering promotion where they're able to give you cash. And all you have to do is, for this particular thing, I think it's called Cash Advance. And I've used it actually twice now for school and other personal things. Okay, so all you have to do is, what happens with this particular thing or program with this credit card is they'll give you cash. For me, the maximum that I had for that particular credit card was $8,000. Now you can take out about 90% of that, or whatever amount that you need. So they will give you cash. They will send it to your bank account. All I had to do was pay a fee of $100, guys. That's all I had to do. And I have a year for me to pay that off. So no interest for about a year. And then after a year, and of course, the interest kind of triple or whatever. I think it was like 30% or something like that after a year. Well, for me, I was able to create a plan where I know that with school-wise, I should be done in December. So that gives me, let's say for that last semester, that started in August, from August till December. Well, since I wasn't able to get any more money from my job, I don't have any more PTO to use, and my work schedule is very limited. That was another option for me, where I'm able to get some money for my credit card, no interest for about a year. And I know that by the grace of God, I will be done with school and be able to go back to working full time. And now I can go back to targeting that money, that loan that that money that I owe to the credit card company. So you only have to pay $100. And guys, when it comes to, if you had to take out student loans, it's going to be a lot more than $100 of interest. It's going to accumulate over a year period of time. So if you know that you're going to be going back to work in a short period of time, or you're going to be able to accumulate money to be able to pay that credit card off before it reach the 1 year mark where the interest rates skyrocket, that's another option. Another example of something that I've used before is also your tax return money. So for most people at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, they're able to get a lump sum of tax money. You can also use that, and that's something that I've used as well. So whatever is it that I can do to help me not to go into any more debts, that's the goal. So I was able again to pay for my schooling for this postmaster's degree without not having to go into any more debt. And again, I've learned from my undergrad. So between my husband and I, we accumulated a ridiculous amount of debt that we haven't paid for. And the hope is that once we're done with school, then we're able to go back and tackle that. But when we wanted to pursue higher education, we didn't want to go into any more debt. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope this video is helpful. Comment down below and let me know what are some tricks that you're using to help you get out of debt, to help you save up money for tuition, or any other projects that you have coming up. Until next time, guys, stay positive, be kind to one another, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye, guys.